for the side of Gambit against Team Spirit. Gambit winning that game with ease from start to finish. And we'll see if they're able to take this 2-0 and then head on into a best of 5 against Na'Vi. It is Gambit against Team Spirit. Let's take a look at the draft so far. Night Stalker, Gyrocopter for Gambit. And Team Spirit, they've gone the Witch Doctor, Sand King on Spirit, and they've banned out the Bane Tusk as well as the Shadow Shaman. So 2 heroes banned here so far for the side of Team Spirit that Gambit used in the last game. CK banned out first, Respect ban to Illidan with that CK getting banned, as well as the Drow getting banned, Tiny, and the Razor. So, Gyrocopter, probably your mid-hero here for Gambit. We've seen G play the Gyrocopter a couple of times, and then you'll have that position for Big Gnome Night Stalker. For Team Spirit, they're going to go 4-5 with the Witch Doctor, Sand King as well. Putting F and G back on that Witch Doctor and Biver on to the Sand King. And now, Gambit, they pick up the Enchantress that has just been completely ignored. So, this is now Cheshire Cat Enchantress, which we've seen before in this qualifier. That has done very well. So now, up against this Enchantress, I'm going to have to try and figure something out. Maybe go to the Tinker for the side of Team Spirit. But we'll see what Team Spirit want to do up against Enchantress. What they want to put in this lane, what they're going to want to do with their carry, because Enchantress with any sort of decent farm is dangerous. It really is disgusting how much Enchantress can do with just the tiniest amount of farm. And if Enchantress can stay towards the top of the net worth, Impetus hits hard. A quick 6 for Enchantress is always crazy. You get that Dragon Lance as well as the Hurricane Pike, and anybody on the side of Team Spirit can be ripped to shreds very quickly. So, Team Spirit definitely thinking about this and thinking about the rest of their draft now that they see this Enchantress out. Let's see. Got control in both Witch Doctor and Sand King. Maybe you want to go a little bit more control. Somebody who's a little bit more tanky for the side of Team Spirit. They don't have that CK available. They could go to the Juggernaut. Maybe the Sven coming through for their safe laner. I'll just wait to take a look in just a moment. As this is the same thing that Team Spirit did previously. They took quite a bit of time in this third pick, probably to set up their next 2 picks as well.
Radiant's turn to pick.
And they'll pick up the Lycan. So not control, but definitely push and early damage. They want to be able to fight early. With Lycan, you go for that, either the Vlads or the Helm of the Dominator first, and then you go into the Necro 3. We'll see if that's really enough to deal with what Gambit Esports have already. I mean, I like the Gyrocopter here. Gyrocopter does pretty well against the Lycan. Enchantress, I mean, you can just enchant the Dominated creep, so you might see Vlads here for the Lycan, and Winter Wyvern picked up for the 5, and that's another decent counter here to the Lycan. Get a nice Winter's Curse out, all of a sudden everything's hitting Lycan, and you're able to take him out pretty quickly, especially with the help of Enchantress.
10 seconds.
Again, the winner of this.
5 seconds remaining.
And the winner of this goes on to play Na'Vi in a best of 5. Gambit 1 game away from that. Team Spirit now going to go to this Broodmother. So Brood and Lycan. Team Spirit really looking for the push. Necro Books, Spiderlings. We'll see how Team Spirit are able to do with this. I mean, Gyrocopter with the Flat Cannon, especially with the fact that Brood can't go invis anymore. They're going to be possibly giving that Gyro now to Daxic because it's usually a G hero over mid. But against the Brood, against the Spiderlings, I could definitely see Gyrocopter getting a lot of extra farm and really enjoying his time there, especially with the Winter Wyvern in lane. You're going to have that Splinter Blast to clean up the Spiderlings as well. So, Tinker banned out by Gambit. They showed how strong Tinker was previously. So it was a G-Tinker, but they don't want to be up against it, so we'll see what they'll be going for in this last pick. Possibly a mid laner coming out for them if they want to move that Gyrocopter over to the safe lane to go up against the Brood. We'll see what Team Spirit think about the situation, as they need a mid as well. Maybe they go back to the Invoker. So they ban out the Sven, which would have been very nice against this Broodmother with the Greater Cleave, of course. Well, last pick coming out here for the side of Team Spirit will be Queen of Pain. We'll see what Gambit want, either mid or safe lane against this. And Team Spirit, they are thinking that that will be a mid Gyrocopter for G. But I could definitely see it getting switched up.
10 seconds. 5 seconds remaining.
Gambit do have a lot of time to think about this. They've got the Enchantress, so they'll have early damage as well as the Gyrocopter coming out. Flat Cannon as well as the Rocket Barrage. Homing Missile is going to be quite an issue to deal with. Right now their lockdown is Winter's Curse, Homing Missile, and Void. They might want somebody with a stun. So let's see who they go to. CK and Sven both banned out when you do think stun on in the safe lane. CK and Sven are definitely one of those first choices. Let's see. What do I think? What do I think over mid? Maybe a Puck comes out. You'll have the Dream Coil to work with as well, but don't know if the OD will work here. Maybe Gyro mid, Terrorblade safe lane. It's not lockdown, but it's early fighting potential with the Metamorphosis. But let's see. Obviously, the Enchantress and Lycan is going to be an interesting battle just because of the sheer fact that Impetus, you try to run away, you're going to get hit even harder. Illidan is going to be on that safe lane Lycan. TK Phobos on the off lane Brood. ILTW mid with the Queen of Pain. Here we go. G over mid with the Dragonite, and it is a safe lane Gyrocopter against this Brood, like I said it would be. We've got the Cheshire Cat Enchantress in the off lane up against Illidan on the Lycan. Always want to fly in that 5 position Winter Wyvern. Big Gnome in the 4 spot with Night Stalker and G on the Dragonite. For the other side, Team Spirit. Witch Doctor, F and G, Biver on the Sand King, Illidan on the Lycan, DK Phobos on that Brood, and then finally, you've got ILTW on the Queen of Pain. We are ready here, game 2 between these teams. Gambit with a 1-0 lead, looking to take this series 2-0 and end up going up against Na'Vi in the best of 5 finals to qualify for GESC Jakarta. Let's see how these lanes end up. We'll see how Cheshire Cat does against this Lycan. See if Lycan does have too much damage for them to deal with. They also have the lockdown of both the Witch Doctor and the Sand King, so maybe Enchantress has a little bit of a tougher time. We'll see if she goes Nature's Attendance into Untouchable. I think the other day I saw more into Nature's Attendants just because they had the ability to really hit up the Enchantress. They had picked up Tinker as well as Gyrocopter.
30 seconds to battle.
So Daxic going to be over in the safe lane with Always Wanna Fly. We'll see how Bignum does. Usually we want to get to that level 3 before the first night. You want to be able to go 1, 1, and 1 Void, Crippling Fear, as well as Hunter in the night. Over top. Cheshire Cat just trading blows with Illidan. We'll back off, and it'll be 2 bounty runes apiece. You'll get G on the Dragonite, picking up the bounty rune to head over mid against this Queen of Pain, which shouldn't be that hard of a lane for G. Get a couple of ticks into that Dragon Blood. He's hard to take out over mid against the Queen of Pain. You've also got the Night Stalker here, and when you get into that first night, you have Crippling Fear. We'll see if the rotation's made out over mid, but for right now, Bignum will be sent into the bottom lane, and DK getting a little bit low here. ILTW being very aggressive with that Shadow Strike level 1. And over top as well, they go for the Enchantress. There's the cask, should be first blood, and there it will be for FNG. So right away, Team Spirit, they make quick work of this Enchantress, only having Nature's Attendants level 1, not that untouchable. Now forced back to lane, already behind. And it is this tri-lane that's going to give a lot of trouble to Enchantress. I wouldn't be surprised to see Cheshire Cat back off this lane completely and maybe head on into the jungle, but that's going to be very tough without Untouchable. So you have to stay here at least to level 2. And then meanwhile, over in the bottom lane, DK Phobos here up against the Gyrocopter. So you can't really make those Spiderlings. You're just going to be feeding away. Only has the Spin Web for now anyway. Seems like the offlaners are going to have such a tough time here over for both sides. So LTW forced to salve out as the Shadow Strike was out on G. He does have 1 in the Dragon Blood now, getting that extra 4 into the health regen. So G able to sustain for a little bit coming into the later parts of this mid matchup, and he's gone with the 2nd level in Dragon Blood. So he's got that extra 6 and now regenning with the Tango for 17. So it's going to be hard to take out the DK. Still level 1 is Enchantress. They do spot Biver. They've got FNG as well as Biver coming over. They want the cask into the Burrow Strike. They'll just confirm this bounty rune for Biver. Take it away from Cheshire Cat. Make sure that this is a slow level 2 for the Enchantress, as slow as possible. Again, over in the safe lane for right now, you've got Daxic level 3. Up against DK Phobos saying, ooh, again over top, Nature's Attendants forced to be used out. It's got quite a long cooldown to it. It just seems as though Cheshire Cat not really able to find anything in this lane and still doesn't have Untouchable. It's become a very hard lane for the Enchantress. This tri-lane able to lock down the Enchantress quite a bit. And it just may not ever pan out for the Enchantress at all. You really do need to have yourself a little bit of farm. Meanwhile, Queen of Pain over mid is going to go down. Queen of Pain deep under the tier 1, and it's just DK against the Queen of Pain. So trying to get a little bit aggressive there. No stun either for the Dragonite, so ILTW just going under tier 1 and dying. So, meanwhile, you do have that spawn Spiderlings now for the Broodmother. I'm not sure how often you're going to be able to use it with the flat cannon. Over mid, that'll be a kill for the side of Team Spirit as they take out G. That's the rotation over of Biver. Oh, Witch Doctor in a little bit of trouble. Maybe I can actually catch a kill on camera for once. As Witch Doctor gets low as he gets ensnared. Enchantress not taking the level 1 in Untouchable, taking the level 1 in Enchantress, trying to protect herself. So the question becomes, how well is DK Phobos going to do in this off lane? Someone who I talked about gets his farm all the time, despite the situation that he's in the off lane. But he's only 5-1 for the time being. And really, if you go with the spawn Spiderwings, you're going to have a tough time not feeding them away at Gyrocopter because they can't go invis. Look to be heading over mid again. G level 5. They've got Bignum here. The Shadow Strike comes through. There's the Burrow Strike on top of it. FNG comes out with the cast bouncing around as well as the Maledict. They're gonna have the kill. Enchantress finally comes over, and all of a sudden, Bignum's dead as well. ILTW, a complete turnaround from last game. Now 2-1-1. Over in this mid lane, grabbing himself a double kill as the rotation came out from Bignum, as well as his supports, Biver and FNG, to get this kill. 4-1 in favor of Team Spirit. That's a just at 5 minutes is a 3,000 net worth lead as they're going to go in again. They've got the Burrow Strike. There's the Scream. Shadow Strike comes out as well as the Maledict. Cast bouncing around. He's got nowhere else to go. G, getting very low, will fall again. 5-1 in favor of this Team Spirit. A complete turnaround from last game. ILTW barely had any farm last game, and now he's just dominating the mid lane against G on this Dragonite, and there's no answer from the side of Gambit. These heavy rotations come through, and there's just really no answer so far from Gambit, where now the Enchantress level 3 has one in the Untouchable, but not really finding much of any farm, and this is an open lane for the Lycan. This is kind of a similar situation to leaving a Weaver with an open lane, except this time it's a Lycan who can fight early, push early, and give you a lot of trouble. Through that, over bottom, DK Phobos hit with the Void. There's the homing missile, Flat Cannon bouncing away. And GESC actually doesn't have any in the Rocket Barrage, but they'll still get the kill anyway. Bignum gets the kill, blocked a little bit by his carry. Gets hit another time by this tower and ends up being taken out by Biver. So it's a 1-for-1 trade. They do take out the Brew. Or the Brood with a D, not a W. They do end up trading the Night Stalker. Again, this is a very hefty lead already for the side of Team Spirit. A team that can snowball out of control with the help of the Lycan. Lycan will end up opening up the lane for DK Phobos a little bit more. He's starting to get these Spiderwings, and they're not getting cleaned up as much as I thought they would. The Flat Cannon is here, but DK Phobos playing it perfectly, backing off these Spiderwings when the Flat Cannon does, in fact, come out. So DK Phobos started very slow, but he's now able to really farm up in this lane and has found himself just about even with the DK. It's not up to par with the Gyrocopter, but it's getting close. Meanwhile, the Cask over mid as well as the Burrow Strike. They've got the Shadow Strike coming through from ILTW, and another kill over mid. This time, FNG gets the kill. Bottom, DK Phobos taken out by Daxic. Bignum to come over bottom. They've got level 2 in the homing missile, as well as that call down with level 7 on the Gyrocopter. So they'll get a kill of their own, but this lead is extending very big. 4,000 net worth in favor of Team Spirit. G in a lot of trouble again. Bignum comes over. It's now daytime. Sonic Wave hits onto G. Crippling Fear comes out onto ILTW, but this is G forced to back off, and he will survive the Sonic Wave, as well as the Shadow Strike. Give me a second. Just gonna let my cat out of the room. There we go, sitting back down. Let's take a look over bottom. DK Phobos now level 6, 3 in the spawn Spiderwings, 3 in the Spin Web. And again, has been playing this lane pretty much perfectly, but now gets hit by the homing missile. There's the Splinter Blast. G's come over with the Dragon Tail, and they'll get the kill with the Breathe Fire, kill off these Spiderlings, get themselves a little bit of farm, but always want to fly. It's going to be that victim that they take back on the side of Team Spirit, making it 8-4. They're actually looking over to maybe try and get G. They've got the Spiderlings here. They've got the Burrow Strike. Call down comes out from the Gyrocopter. alive for right now will be the Dragon Knight. They'll get the return kill onto FNG. Biver now all by himself, but G gonna go over to the shrine, heal up, make sure he can't get hit by that burrow strike, and coincidentally taken out, but nobody else is here to really help out Biver anyway, and the homing missile is gonna come his way. This is just to push him back and open up the lane for Gyrocopter. We'll now switch this over to the net worth. See that he's second on the net worth, but a bit behind this Lycan. So already got the Helm of the Dominator to work with, and 1,900 gold saved up going into the Necro book. We'll look to get that Necro 3, look to push as much as he can in the early game. He's already got Shapeshift to work with, already level 10, taking that plus 20 damage, and this is a Lycan who hasn't been bothered at all. Coming over bottom will be FNG as well as Biver. They're going to look for the kill onto the Gyrocopter, but he's made his way onto the low ground over by this jungle area. DK Phobos looking to push. There's just the taunt coming out from the Gyro. They look over at Always Wanna Fly. He might be the victim. Coming all the way around is going to be FNG as well as Biver to find that cast. Maledict comes out as well as the Burrow Strike. That's a lot of damage to hit onto the Gyrocopter, but just not enough to get the kill. Queen of Pain's coming in. There's the Cold Embrace used by Always Wanna Fly to keep himself alive, but with 4 heroes here, that's going to be a lot of trouble and no shrine to go back to. Down he goes. ILTW now on a killing spree. So it's 9-5 in their favor. Ooh. Void used, Burrow Strike hits. They've got FNG, Radiant Courier killed off. Meanwhile, here they come over mid again to go on G. G needs to be very careful. Biver with the Burrow Strike available. There's the Scream coming through as well as the Burrow Strike again. Shadow Strike and the Maledict with the Sonic Wave coming over the top. The Casco Bounce does hit now on the Bignum. Bignum in a little bit of trouble. He's got the Witch Doctor, or the Winter Wyvern here for now to try and get the kill on ILTW, but just don't have enough damage. Burrow Strike available in just a moment with the mana getting regened, and there should be another kill for Team Spirit. Now 11-5. They try to get the kill on FNG as well as ILTW, but they can clean up absolutely nothing on the side of Gambit, and Team Spirit able to walk away from that fight unscathed.
It's sinking, just like your ships.
So let's see. Illidan, 3,000 gold saved up. He is forming like an absolute madman now. Just about getting in front of this Gyrocopter by 1,000 net worth. And it looks as though Team Spirit are going to be able to snowball on forward even further. They send this Spiderwing down to find the vision onto the Gyrocopter, and the rest of this fight, they find Bignum. He gets hit by the Burrow Strike, and look at the damage come out from DK Phobos to get another kill for the side of Team Spirit. I thought maybe they'd have a little bit of trouble with this Broodmother pick, but able to get the Maledict off, as well as the ulti, the Winter's Curse thrown onto this Sand King just to lock him in and do nothing with it. Team Spirit running all over Gambit right now, and they have absolutely no answer to this except to just farm.
Radiant's bottom tower faces a stiff wind.
So Illidan, what did he buy out on? There will be Vlad's coming out too, so Helm of the Dominator and Vlad's, as well as finishing off those treads. Chantress over top, level 9, has the impetus to work with. Not a lot of mana to use. Bignum coming over as well as the Gyrocopter. They want to stop this Lycan from farming, but the scan is precise from the Dire, and they're able to back off.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
So DK Phobos getting the bottom tier 1.
What's this?
Meanwhile, Illidan just sitting very far back. He has FNG just in case they do go in. They'll switch their target onto ILTW over mid as G tries to take this tower with the double damage and will. They aren't able to really close the distance on ILTW before he's able to blink away. They've got nighttime vision to work with, trying to get the Void as well as the Crippling Fear. They're going to have to lead with the Crippling Fear as well as the Dragon Tail. There's the Silence. They've got the Void. The Rocket Barrage comes out. Sounds for a little bit more. The Homing Missile comes in, and that's a kill. for the side of Gambit on the very strong Queen of Pain as they send a couple of these heroes over to clean up one. Meanwhile, over top, again, Illidan still continuing to push, looking for the tier 1 over top. The Sharkcat just making sure that he's able to keep this Lycan from pushing, but he's able to continue to farm, and let's see if he's working on that Necro book next, or if he's even going to go for it at this point. Shapeshift used, they look over the Enchantress. There's Nature's Attendants used already, but the damage is quite a bit with the Maledict. They're still able to take out this Enchantress, thanks to the ulti of the Witch Doctor and the heavy damage coming out from Illidan. They're now up 13-3, 3,000 net worth lead, and they're pushing in on bottom. Rocket Barrage doesn't do enough. There's the Burrow Strike, Shadow Strike with the Veil. Sonic Wave to clean up the Gyrocopter, and he uses Call Down, but that will whiff. And Team Spirit continue to just pressure these lanes and pushing onto the side of Gambit, trying to even up this series at 1.
Just got sent to the bottom.
Just the heavy pressure coming out from Team Spirit right now. Gambit don't exactly know what to do with it except try and farm, but they've been locked down for quite a long time, 15 minutes at this point, where they really haven't been able to find much of anything. Cheshire Cat at 4,300 net worth on the offlane Enchantress, looking for the Solar Crest. DK, his farm hasn't been all that great. He's behind the Queen of Pain, not by much. He's going for the Blink Dagger next. Still half away off of that. And then top of the net worth for them is the Gyrocopter, looking for the SNY. But you compare that to the Lycan, who's got the Vlad's Helm of the Dominator, 2,300 gold, and now the team looking to smoke as DK Phobos over bottom. The Dragon Tail will come through onto Bivver. They'll get at least one. Now they might look over at DK Phobos, but he's into the trees already and out of harm's way. The Spiderling's able to survive for now, and he hasn't really lost many. I don't have statistics on that, but Spiderling kills have not been that much. So Illidan coming over with ILTW as well as FNG here with DK Phobos. Always want to fly over by the shrine as the team has healed up and they are heading over towards mid. Soaring comes through for this Winter Wyvern, making sure that he always has mana for at least the Winter's Curse as well as the Cold Embrace. Take a look over at G, almost finishing off that Blink Dagger. Yasha is gonna be there for the Gyrocopter. Sanj soon to finish off the SNY. And then let's take a look again at this Enchantress. Still looking for the Solar Crest, but not too far off that. Actually has enough gold for it, just needs to finish it off. But this is the push coming in bottom from the entire side of Team Spirit with nothing that Gambit can do. Can't exactly fight into this. They're going to be forced to try and take a tier 1 trade towers here, but this is a tier 1 for a tier 2. That isn't exactly beneficial. They'll even TP back FNG as well as Bivver. There's the epicenter with the cast, the ulti from FNG, and Nature's Attendants not going to be enough to stop the Maledict tick from killing off this Cheshire Cat Enchantress. Another kill, now 6,000 net worth lead, 15-8 for Team Spirit, completely dominating still. So looking for the Yules next is the Queen of Pain. FNG, meanwhile, has the boots. Lycan, we'll see what he goes for. 3,400 gold saved up. Blink Dagger already here on a Bivver. And the Brood with the Orchid. Mask of Madness next, and the Medallion. So this Brood sitting third on the net worth, 1,000 behind the Gyrocopter. Compare that to the offlane of the Enchantress. 2,700 gold ahead. DK was able to save a majority of these Spiderlings over in the jungle, in these trees, and getting more right away to continue pushing. Meanwhile, over mid, 4 heroes here for Team Spirit, going for the tier 1. The Blink got forward into the cast. Burrow Strike hits onto G with the Winter's Curse coming through to try and save his life. They'll kill off FNG. Now they look over at Bivver. Coming around the back is going to be Illidan. The Sonic Wave hits on a couple of these heroes, but now in a lot of trouble is ILTW, just able to blink away. Illidan in, but the Cold Embrace saves the life of Bignum. Now they try to turn the Roy with the Impetus. Crippling Fear is going to be used just yet as the Orchid comes through from DK Phobos. Always want to fly, takes out the Winter Wyvern, but they will lose the Lycan. On the back lines of this fight, DK Phobos here with the Queen of Pain ILTW, but they lose 3 for 1 and it's a big win for the side of Gambit in that exchange over by the mid lane. So 4,000 net worth lead, 16 to 11, but a very big win for the side of Gambit there. Gyrocopter, in fact, is trying to finish off this BKB, skipping the Sanj part of this SNY for now. Enchantress, Solar Crest, Hurricane Pike next. DK, Blink Dagger finished off. He's going for the Heaven's Halberd. Take a look at the other side. Lycan going straight AC, not even going for the Necro Book. Broodmother, Mask of Madness next, and then Queen of Pain Lincolns into the Shivas. For the rest of the team, Blink Dagger already here for the Sand King, Boots for FNG. Head over into Roshan to try and take this first Aegis, but coming over is Gambit. Got the spin web here. There's the call down. Shapeshift going to be used. Blink with the Burrow Strike. They look for the Epicenter. I don't know if they're going to be able to get this off. Always want to fly taken out, so they have no heal. BKB going to be popped by Daxic, but he's being chased down by this Lycan. The ulti comes out. They'll take out Bignum. They look for Cheshire Cat. There's the Yules to keep him in place. They're going to get themselves a third. Burrow Strike, Shadow Strike. Down he goes. And that's going to be a dominating spree for DK Phobos. 3 dead here on the side of Gambit. And right back into the Roshan pit with nothing to lose is Team Spirit. So they are just spiraling out of control here on the side of Team Spirit. Gambit, they show off that 10-second BKB. It does nothing here for the Gyrocopter. When you kill off Always Want to Fly like that before the Winter's Curse, as well as the Cold Embrace, you just don't find anything. And I think coming in over into the Roach Pit, where an attempt was made by the Night Stalker to steal that Aegis, but he dies instead. So they lose another. There's the blink forward with the Burrow Strike. Homing missile out. The Orchid comes out from DK Phobos, trying to run away. No Cold Embrace, and just in time. But the Veil is through. There's the Sonic Wave. They'll get the kill. Call down is going to be used by Daxic, but push back into the base as the rest of the team takes this tier 2. And they force the Glyph out. Homing missile hits on the DK Phobos, but he's still very healthy. Nature's Attendance used. Just trying to push them back with this impetus, but it's just not doing enough. There goes the tier 2. An 11,000 net worth lead here for the side of Team Spirit. Solar Crest, enough gold there for the Broodmother. ILTW going for the Lincoln Sphere, 2,000 gold saved up there. Lycan again looking for the AC and is just about done with it. Take a look at the other side. Cheshire Cat sitting very low on the net worth. Only with the Solar Crest, no Dragon Lance, no Hurricane Pike, no nothing. Getting too close to these heroes, and it really makes it hard for Enchantress to do anything. Lycan's going to continue to push over top, finishing off that AC. I just don't know if Gambit have an answer for this Team Spirit push. They're in trouble again with the Enchantress. There's the Burrow Strike, the ulti from the Witch Doctor. Another kill to come through onto the Enchantress, dead for 51 seconds. No buyback. And there's the push continuing from Team Spirit. The homing missile comes through, but here is pretty deep ILTW. The Crippling Fear is out there, but the Yules to save his life. They'll take out Always Want to Fly. DK Phobos looking for more. Bignum getting a little bit low, so is DK Phobos not having that ult available. And Dragon Tail comes through onto the Lycan from G, but they're forced back into their base. Coming in with a Shapeshift will be Illidan. They chase him down, look for the kill. The Burrow Strike hits on a Bignum, and they will get this kill on the Dragonite. And he's dead for 55 seconds with buyback. They look over at Bignum. He's fallen as well, and 33 seconds. No buyback. So it's down to just the Gyro as well as maybe the DK if he buys back, but he's got no Elder Dragon form anyway, so what's the point of buying back when you just don't have your strengths? They'll lose this top melee racks as well as the ranged, and they'll move on over mid for the side of Team Spirit. It looks as though this is going to be a quick game 2, forcing a game 3. Team Spirit, they had a pretty awful performance in game 1, but this game 2 certainly making up for it, as Gambit, all they can do is watch as these racks are going to be taken. Enchantress hit by the Burrow Strike, Nature's Attendance used, but somebody's got to stop Illidan here as he's going for the melee racks, and finally the Cold Embrace is used, but nobody close enough to really hurt him. Burrow strike again. Sonic Wave hits on a Bignum. He's going to be silenced by DK Phobos coming in. Cold Embrace to save his life. There's the ulti from this Witch Doctor FNG. Enchantress Low again. There's the kill for DK Phobos, getting a double kill. They look over the Gyrocopter. Burrow strike hits from Biver, and the third will come their way. And they look for more. As always, Wanna Fly is the only one here with the buyback now coming out from the Gyrocopter, but Cold Embrace saved for just a moment. I don't know if that's going to last. The scream comes through. The Cold Embrace, he's still low. Triple kill for DK Phobos. Looking for more. Maybe the Gyrocopter going down, but he's back into the base. And they are okay. And GG is called. Team Spirit will take Game 2 over Gambit, and we, in fact, will be going to a Game 3. So Spirit, clean game, quick game, 24 minutes, 40 seconds, and they force a Game 3 with a perfect game, 2-2 and 15 for Illidan. Never really stopped in that top lane. DK Phobos, despite what I thought was a bad matchup for him against the Gyrocopter, ended up working out for DK Phobos, 9-3 and 9. Top of the net worth was that offlane Broodmother. Mid was ILTW, had a much better game than the Invoker game in the past. And they do end up winning with the push strat. Team Spirit take it 29-12, just 24 minutes in or whatever. I kind of already forgot. And they will force a Game 3 up against Gambit. Winner takes on Na'Vi, and that will be coming up next. Take a look at the graph. All Team Spirit, and they look pretty good. They went to the drawing board and, in fact, found a winning strategy. And they'll move it to a Game 3 coming up next. I'm your caster, BCop, at BCop92 on Twitter. BCop Casting on Twitch. Follow me on all forms of social media to know when I'm casting. We'll be back with Game 3 in just a moment. Stay right there. Hope you're enjoying what I'm bringing to you. The winner of the next game goes on to fight Na'Vi in a best-of-5. That will be coming up straight after. And again, thank you guys for coming, and stay right there.